comes to NBA 2K12 season. We've got 3-minute quarters, so 12-minute game, and we'll just go to the first game, which is Atlanta-Milwaukee. And so there's 14 games in the season, and then go to playoffs, 7-game season, but the playoffs should be good. Atlanta at Milwaukee, we've got home ground advantage and stuff like that, so let's have a chance. Okay, Milwaukee's 25th overall, Atlanta's 10th overall, but we'll see how they play. This is the thing.
Thanks for joining us. Time to get ready for NBA action on
We'll see how it plays.
A Tuesday night NBA presentation. It's Al Horford and the Atlanta Hawks going up against Steven Jackson and the Milwaukee Bucks. And now, time for the call by Kevin Harlan. We'll get you out for tip-off in Milwaukee.
So we'll go through the day's games for whatever day it is. So going through the day's games for this tape, or as many as we can, maybe 4 games. Yes. Just adjusting the presentation. Sorry, I shouldn't have this on the video, this is a bit boring. But,
so the Bucks win the tip.
I got it HDMI now instead of
Jackson kicks the ball. Some nice passing. Outside Jackson. Pocket six. And it's Jackson picking him up. Steps back and fires. Rebound Atlanta. Back to Atlanta. They haven't had a controlling point guard in quite take some time for it. You know, we've heard Steve talk about Heinrich. Good pickup. They still be looking.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
That should be absolutely illegal. A superb alley-oop there. Prime time play.
Well, they had that one standing by, just waiting to pull it up.
A sense of understanding between those two teammates, that's for sure.
Here is Jennings. And that's to Jackson. The three. That falls. Jackson saw himself going with the triple. His first basket of the game.
Not a great year for the Bucks, as they were eliminated from playoff contention. Jennings let his unhappiness with that and with the roster turnover be known. He was pretty adamant and demonstrative.
Earlier, Doris spoke with head coach Larry Drew. And Doris, what'd you find out?
Kevin, speaking to him about their offensive game plan coming into this game, he said nothing was set in stone. The great thing about my guys is their ability to adjust to whatever a defense shows them.
so it should be that towards score and make the pass
And
good.
when you see evidence of that this evening. Can't wait, guys.
Thank you, Doris. So, do you guys think their shooting will play as an important role in the coach made a shot?
Well, the output of the game is put the ball in the basket, so you want your shots to fall, but I don't know if you can necessarily plan on that being the case.
Well, you'd like to plan on making every shot. It just doesn't happen.
And it should have close to final points.
Selection, get good shots. Hopefully,
Exciting final points, but they do some
Touching back on that story about Jennings, he's a bit of a point. He still can't step smooth sailing each year. He's now a third-year player. Steve, what do you think about that?
Well, you usually just have to work harder to get back to the playoffs. So I don't think Jennings can do that. He was disappointing in his second season. His field goal percentage was got a lot of improvement to make individually, and he doesn't need to worry about what's going on with the roster around him.
To Bogut. Steven Jackson on the way. Pass to Jennings. Right up. Al Horford with the rebound. The Hawks leading by 4. And so he draws the foul on the shot. Now trip to the line to shoot 2.
Now that should be a rule. No layups. Take the paint, make them earn every point. Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
The line is good. So both teams making some changes here.
Change the stuff. Sorry, I won't be like this anymore.
Free throw's good for Williams. 17 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Jennings with the ball. Here's Livingston. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. It could go. No good. Free-flowing first quarter. Great story through 1. Hawks on top, up by 4.
Yeah, the defense has been terrific. They came out right from the beginning, alert and focused, and they've been really good at that end of the floor.
and I think the coach has to be pleased with the effort on that end of the floor. It's been very good.
Don't go away. Back in just a moment. Coming up next Monday night, Ty Austin and the Denver Nuggets go up against Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. A Northwest Division
I don't know which
rivalry.
date this is. It'll be on soon, but the actual this is on the actual.
And back to the action again. Everyone excited to be playing for a fresh new year.
On the YouTube.
Here's Heinrich.
You know, the story with Milwaukee last year was a team that just struggled to score the ball, Kevin. I mean, nobody was able to consistently put it in the basket for them.
So long ago.
Johnson outside.
So it's 9 to 9 and no.
Just 5 to shoot.
I'm going on so one close.
O'Lear. And here's Heinrich. Johnson outside. He's guarded by Jennings. Johnson, the pass to Heinrich. Shoots over Jennings. And Heinrich.
Just forgot one thing, how many fouls there is. I might be able to do that. Must have to do it in another.
Gets it to go down on the assist by Johnson. Clark on that note, only 6 bucks in double-digit scoring averages last year. With Jennings, the fleet-footed Jennings, topping the list at 16.
It was just the fact that the top scorer was only at 16 a game.
Yeah, and Jennings was shooting about 40%, so that's part of the problem. He takes a lot of shots. He doesn't always make them. So usually you need your top scorers to be high percentage shooters. It allows you to get back defensively, and it allows you to really be able to count on somebody night after night.
And now, first timeout call here for the Hawks. This game against Milwaukee here. It's their first look to start the season.
So the first game's going with 6 fouls, 6 fouls. I need to work out
Split the season series.
Shouldn't know that. I'd like to make it split.
Jackson comes in for Sean Livingston. And Udrich in for Brandon Jennings. And then for Atlanta, Al Horford. He's checked in for Pachulia. Smith comes in for Jerry Stackhouse. And Marvin Williams subbed in for Willie Green. And there's a minute 45 left to play here in the second quarter. Heinrich dishes to Horford. Covered by Bogan. Horford kicks to Smith. 6 to shoot. Now here's Heinrich. He's guarded by Udrich. Here's Horford. A monster one-hand slam.
Well, that's the way to corral that rebound and then go back up the floor. Make them feel you.
Yeah, you know, Clark, the work he does on the offensive glass has always been so impressive.
That might be where he's most valuable to this team.
Levi Bogan. Now Udrich.
6. Heinrich up top. The feed now to Smith. And stolen by Ilyasova.
Boy, that's a wonderful read and react play to pick that pass off.
And Mbah-a-Moute.
Well, Milwaukee had such a tough season a year ago. They had a lot of high hopes, but injuries seemed to derail them. And they never could get going, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Comes to the door. Right now on the 77. And then so there's me.
First free throw is good. And the Bucks with some changes. Luer comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Jennings in for Udrih. Then for the Hawks, Willie Green's checked in for Williams. McGrady comes in for Joe Johnson. And it's Teague in for Kirk Heinrich. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. There's 38 seconds left in the first half. Teague gets to McGrady. Horford backing in. The turnaround Jay, no good. And it's Milwaukee the other way. Now here's Jennings. Here's Mbah-a-Moute. Up top Jennings. He dishes it to Mbah-a-Moute. Pocket 2 with 1 on the clock. That's good from Jennings on the assist from Mbah-a-Moute. Jennings has got 4 points now in the quarter. Here's Teague. Cannot hit.
Looking at the game Horford's been having, he got 4 points and also a couple of rebounds.
And by 2 at halftime.
Welcome to this edition of HP at the Half. A close game going on out in Milwaukee. The Hawks are going all out to stay in it. They've limited the second chance buckets. They've been crashing the defensive glass, playing big on the defensive end. Al Horford playing impressively so far. He's chipped in 4 points and been a huge helper on the boards as well. Also a strong first half for Milwaukee. They're looking to climb above 500 here in the early going. Certainly an impressive start by Brandon Jennings. He's chipped in 4 points and also sharing it around with a few assists.
Working out 8 points is about the same as the 30s.
I'll look at a pair of names we figured would be leading the way, neither putting up their normal averages. And let's look ahead at the games that won't be tipping off until later tonight.
That's first thing I'm going.
For the Celtics, they'll be up against the Nets in New Jersey. Some Eastern teams doing battle. That gets going 7:30 Eastern. And one game also on the docket. It'll be the Knicks out in New York against the Bobcats. A 7:30 Eastern time is tip-off. And a look here at the other action around the association. The Bulls will square off against the Magic in Orlando. A 7:30 Eastern tip time. And now let's get the second half rolling. Here's Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke.
So it'll be
Always a pleasure to have you with us. The season officially underway. Here's Teague.
Boy, the Hawks came into the postseason last year as the 5 seed and really weren't given too much of a chance, but they turned some heads against the Magic.
And Smith backing in. From 11 feet away. That's good from Horford on the assist by Smith. 6 points for Horford. Well, back to the Hawks. They got it back into the postseason, losing, Steve, their last 6 regular season games.
Well, it shows sometimes that the regular season may not make any difference once the playoffs start. I think Atlanta really caught fire in that first round against Orlando, won the series, then gave Chicago some problems too.
Gets it to go.
And the defense just couldn't get a hand in his face, couldn't challenge the shot.
Yeah, made his height advantage count that time.
Now Teague. There's the pass to Horford. Here's Teague. He started by Jennings. Teague can't hit.
Last season, I thought Andrew Bogut showed that his amazing defensive improvement from the season before was no fluke. I mean, that was real. The league leader in block shots at over 2.5 per game.
Johnson gets called for the reach. That is his first foul of the game. Tracy McGrady's checked in for Joe Johnson. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Clark, going back to what he said about Andrew Bogut's shot blocking. Never a dominant shot blocker for his first 4 seasons in the NBA. Then Steve all of a sudden the last 2 seasons, he's been incredible.
I like Bogut a lot at both ends of the floor. I mean, he's an excellent offensive player. Both those passer and score. But you have that defense that you guys have talked about. All of a sudden, you're looking at one of the best centers in the NBA.
In front of you when you're coming down the lane. Well, you take a look at Bogut. Fierce inside defender. Tops in the NBA in blocks.
Boy, what shot blocking instincts he showed last year. Just seemed to get to every shot. Great anticipation, great awareness.
Here's Jennings. For the lead. Rebounded by Tracy McGrady.
After the disappointing end to the 2010 playoff push, the Hawks decided to make a change at the head coaching position and went with Larry Drew at the helm.
A 10-footer. Williams' shot is off. The Bucks trail. Right side Jackson. It doesn't go on the chance to tie. Clark back to Drew. They had Mike Woodson. He took him to the playoffs, but Larry Drew takes his place. Drew is on his staff. It was scrutinized early, but, Steve, he took him back into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs.
Well, and that was their goal. They wanted to get back to winning a series in the postseason. And Drew was able to do that. They beat Orlando in the first round. And then they gave Chicago all they could handle in round 2.
Starting by Bogut. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. 6 points for Brandon Jennings. There's 38 seconds left to play in the third. T picks the Horford. He feeds it to T. Shot clock at 6. Plenty of space. Jennings with the rebound.
And the defense got away with a major lapse there.
Lure the pass to Jackson. Over McGrady. Again, the miss by Jackson. That will count McGrady. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. Don't go away. We'll see you in a moment.
The Los Angeles Clippers go up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs next Monday night.
As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark report. Doris?
Hi guys, well it was the stretch by the Hawks that garners the Sprite Spark today. A lot of defensive stands to start the game set the tone and allowed them to build this lead. We'll see if they can close it out with more of the same here in the fourth, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you. That run was a critical stretch mark of the game.
It sure was. I mean, once the pilot light was lit, they didn't let up.
Well, offensively, it all came together for them, Clark, and it really allowed them to kind of take control of the game at that point.
Jackson, a screen on Williams to tie it up, and it's blocked. But they retain possession. For 3, Udrich, rebounded by the Hawks. Fast break, here they come. Hit his leg, and the official saying it was kicked. First field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Hawks. That is a potent offense right now.
Yeah, Kevin, really the offense is flowing quite nicely.
Playing with a lot of confidence and some self-assurance. I like what they're seeing.
The last 2 minutes.
Hawks leading by 5. Now T. Johnson can't get it to go. Tries again. Straight up. Here's T. He's guarded by Udrich. Pachulia kicks to T. Tries yet again. Hits the bucket. And it's a 7-point Hawks lead. Timeout called the Bucks. They're losing by 7. 1:29 left here in the fourth quarter.
I was able to listen in on what Scott Skiles was going over with his team. He pumped his team up trying to say, it's moments like these that you play the game for. Leave everything on the court and play like you know how. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Looking at his honor now for the Bucks. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for good. Livingston comes in for Steven Jackson. And it's Jennings in for Udrich. Here's Jennings. He kicks it to Dunlap. From the arc. Kicks it to go.
Team play there. You move the ball until you find the right shot for the right person.
They're a well-oiled machine, Steve. I mean, working extremely well as a cohesive unit. Every pass delivered on time and on target. A lot of ball movement and play movement. It's a thing of beauty.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're ahead by 4. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. Steven Jackson checked in for the Bucks. And a change for the Hawks. Marvin Williams has checked in for Willie Green. Here's T. Gets to Johnson. Johnson left side. Goes up on the wing. 4 on the clock. Uses the glass to drop it in. And the Hawks lead by 6.
Defense gave him more than enough space right there.
Less than 1 minute left. Jennings kicks to Jackson. Shoots it. Williams pulls it in.
And you can sense the frustration coming from him right now. He just can't find his game.
Oh, he is missing a lot of chances, Steve. Too many.
Atlanta starts
Here's T.
to
A chance here to possibly put it out of reach.
Now they've got to focus, make sure this is a good, solid possession. They can take control of this game.
Jennings with the double team. Powers down the
Jennings.
top.
And
Nice
that
jam.
should do it. This is an insurmountable lead.
Yep, there's too little time left, too big a deficit to overcome. This one, oh,
So they're about 26 points for
They trail by 8.
get more offense from there.
23 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Jennings. Now the dish to Dunlap. Feeds it to Jackson. puts up a three. Jackson missing again. And so the Hawks take the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
Well, that'll do it. For Dorisburg, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long, we'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Joe Johnson.
So it's just 6 rebounds and 1 block. Let's go to Boston. Just take with 9 points, which is good. Al Horford 6, Joe Johnson 5. Let's go above 5. Who's the other starting? Josh Smith's got 9. Let's see though. Brandon Jennings 6 points, not too many anyone else. Go on to the next game. Let's get time for one more. I think it's Boston, New Jersey, so you expect Boston win that even though they're away team. We'll see how it goes. Few highlights there, that's all right. So it's first time of 2011, this one, so we'll see what happens. So what's happening today? Nuggets at Thunder, Warriors at Suns, Rockets at Trailblazers, Clippers at Spurs, Lakers at Kings, and Grizzlies at Jazz. And coming up soon, next Celtics, some of what needs to talk about Bulls Magic, which will be good. Cavaliers 76ers, I'm fine with it. Pistons, Raptors, Pacers, Wizards. Sorry, it's not Boston, so it's New Jersey. Boston now. Boston's 5th overall, New Jersey's 22nd.
Damon Bruce here, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tuesday night in the NBA. It's Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics going up against Deron Williams and the New Jersey Nets. And that wraps up things here in the studio. I'll see you again for the HP Halftime Report. Now, here's Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K broadcasting crew.
Coming up soon. Just going to do this first thing and get into it for not the closest method, maybe, we're sure I'm going to do it anyway.
unnecessary presence down low. That's Damian James, and it's Humphreys in the power forward position.
Guys, you know, the Nets have really struggled against everybody, but particularly against their neighbors in the Atlantic Division over the last couple of seasons. I mean, last season, they were actually the punching bag for that division. 3-13 within the division.
So off the tip, it's New Jersey. Williams dishes to Stevenson. Back to Williams. And here's Stevenson for three. Rebounded by the Celtics. We talked about the Nets against the Atlantic Clark.
This is going to be season, and the playoffs soon going to season. Soon going to
13 record, huh?
around season.
See what they got you if they want to make some distance here in this division and in the conference.
So try and do what?
12-game improvement
That's going to include
overall
that.
win total. It's interesting that they couldn't make more inroads in the Atlantic. We'll see if they can move up the total goal this season in their own division. And they always like to get that first lead in the game.
Yeah, you know, Steve, a good way to set the tone early on there.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to catch up with Coach Doc Rivers.
Yes, Kevin, he said we're a very clever team without the ball, and on betting we force our share of turnovers on the open floor and take them right out of their game plan. Obviously, no shortage of confidence about their defensive capabilities, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Well, guys, give us your thoughts on that.
Well, you know what? I think the game plan for a lot of teams, really good teams, starts with good D. So it's pretty much what I expected to hear.
And for this club, that's the way it should be. I mean, they need to send a message defensively right away. When you take it to your opponents on the defensive end of the floor, it sets the tone early.
And here are the Nets, following the three-pointer by Paul Pierce.
You are really living dangerously if you let them roam free in three-point land. He's a dangerous marksman from out there. The biggest news with Darren Williams last year was the move to New Jersey. Caught a lot of people by surprise. It was a bit of a shock, but it was probably the right time to move on.
5 on the clock. Here's Pierce, and another basket for Boston. Well, back to Williams, Steve, the right time to move on, perhaps for both parties.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he wanted to stay in Utah. He was offered a long-term extension. He didn't sign it. And I admire the Jazz for moving him right away and not getting themselves into a sort of LeBron James situation like Cleveland did. So hopefully New Jersey will be the spot for him, and Utah will be happy with the trade and the players they got as well.
On defense, New Jersey, trailing by 2. This, of course, being game 1 of the season, is their first look at the Celtics. The shot by Pierce will not go. And the Nets with possession. The leader inside. The Celtics with the lead.
So we'll have to play.
It's up.
Although Stats kind of should play
Game
a
way
bit,
empty
so
there,
they
and
could.
that's a shot.
I don't know, I can't do the
Probably
field.
go down.
And here is Williams.
I'm supposed to play a lot.
Gets to Humphreys. Got a piece of it. A fadeaway. He beats the buzzer with a fantastic shot.
Major guts right there, Phil. I mean, that's what it takes to bury a big shot like that. You got to be confident and composed.
Yep, no hesitation, no second thoughts. He just lets it fly.
Tie game in New Jersey. 2K Sports back in a moment here at the Prudential Center.
Coming up next Monday night, the Los Angeles Clippers go up against Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs, live from AT&T Center. Be there.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. The season officially underway.
You know, guys, I think the Celtics actually came into the playoffs shake them up a little bit. And with Shaq really unable to contribute due to injuries, a team used to being big inside perhaps felt a little smaller.
And the first shot of the night for him, missing. And here are the Nets. And Williams backs in. No problem on the jumper in close. Williams has got the opening field goal of the second quarter for the Nets. To set the table there well for Celtics and their injuries. They did play a role in the postseason, not just in the front. Dislocated elbow of Rajon Rondo also factored in. I think that was a huge hit for that team.
Yeah, I was amazed that he was able to return in that game and continue to play the rest of the series. But it did limit him. Rondo slowed down. The Celtics had a tough time scoring. In fact, Miami really played him and Boston kind of 5-on-4. They didn't honor his offense, and it really cost Boston.
Now, here's Stevenson. Lock at 6. With the clock winding down, and Darren Williams again. Williams has got his third basket of the night. Celtics trail by 4.
You know, I can't help but to think back to Darren Williams when he was at the University of Illinois. Enjoyed covering him there. At that point, you knew he'd be special.
And here's Rondo. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Here's Bass. The shot from the low post is good. And Clark, you brought up Darren at the U of I. You know, he led the team to the Final Four and the championship game, but couldn't get past the time.
But guys, I will never forget the regional final when they beat Arizona. He had 15 straight games, 4 minutes left. I still have nightmares about that game. Darren Williams leading the charge for a comeback by the Orlando. Man, that was amazing.
And first time out of the game called for New Jersey.
Well, you look at the Celtics a season ago, they were 23-18 on the road. Well, that would be a good mark for most teams. That was Boston's worst road record in the last 4 years.
Here's the list of players who had the most steals in the NBA last season. Second, Rajon Rondo.
They showed such great defensive instincts last year. Just a terrific defensive play.
Some changes for New Jersey. Damian James is checked in for Sean Williams. Brooks comes in for Deshaun Stevenson. And it's Farmo in for Darren Williams. Here's Brooks. Now Farmo. Brooks outside. The trade. Farmar, no good. Boston trade. Here's Rondo. Looking for his first bucket of the game. On the shot clock. And then Pierce for the dunk.
Come on now, I didn't see. Can you believe that finish? Oh, a little bit of flair and flavor at the end of it.
Oh, that'll be a fan favorite, all right.
That was not your average typical dunk.
That was some awesome above the rim action from Sprite we just saw on our Sprite Slam Cam. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
You know, looking back now to the 1998 draft, I'm sure there's some teams that picked ahead of Boston in that 10th spot that would like to do that one over and maybe take Paul Pierce because he slid down that draft a little further than people expected. He's become an absolute superstar for the Boston Celtics.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. The dish to O'Neal. a shot off. No good from outside. Heaves it up. Farmo. No good.
And I don't know whether they keep up with the trades that are actually in the real NBA or not.
Welcome to HP at the Half. The NBA season just getting underway. The Celtics fighting for control so far. They let him hang around so far. Now it's anybody's ball game. A good start for Paul Pierce. He's accounted for more than half their points so far. Not a lot of guys pulled that off. It was a good first half as well for the Nets. They're in the zone offensively. When you got it going on like they do, it's going to be so much fun. Getting it done early, Darren Williams. They aren't exactly eye-catching numbers, but don't be fooled. These came to play, and he's leading them towards victory in this one. We've already seen some highlights from these two in the first half. They're leading both their teams in scoring. Starting things off with a look at games on tap for later. The Bucks playing at Bradley Center as they go up against the Hawks. Could be an interesting matchup. A 7:30 Eastern tip time. And one game also on the docket, the Charlotte Bobcats will go up against the Knicks in New York. That gets going 7:30 Eastern. And here's a look at the other NBA action around the league. It'll be the Magic out at Amway Center against the Bulls. A 7:30 Eastern time is tip-off. That's going to do it for us here in the studio. We'll send you back to Kevin Harlan and the crew. Second half call.
And welcome back to K Sports presentation of the NBA. What a season in store for us. And here's Rondo. Still looking to get on the scoreboard.
There was a lot of speculation about whether Doc Rivers would return, but here he is, and he's become a bit of a mainstay at Boston since he's been there.
And Pierce backs in. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. Back to Doc Rivers, Clark. There was talk he might take some time off, look to other teams, but he signed that 5-year deal right at the end of the season. Now, his son's going to be a freshman down at Duke, and I know he's anxious to watch him play. But he'll stay in the NBA. Steve, that was kind of an interesting decision.
Well, I think Boston wanted stability, Kevin. The players are older, so by signing Doc Rivers to a long-term deal, you've told your fans, look, he's the rock, he's the stability. We're going to be good for a long time because Doc is our leader.
Williams kicks to Lopez. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. We'll get Jermaine O'Neal.
Lopez really stumbled out of the gate last season. Only shot 45% from the field in the early part of the year. But after the trade for Darren Williams, Lopez really came into his own. It's amazing how much a good point guard can help a center.
And the first one drops. Thinking back to Lopez, Clark, he had to be a little concerned about it as a Nets fan, but he righted the ship.
Yeah, he did. And again, Kevin, when I go back to my point, big guys. 4 to 6 years. I saw it with Rick Smith. People were ready to run him out of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Because it took him a while. He had some foot injuries, but it took him a while to establish how he could be most effective based on his skill set. The same with Lopez. He's a terrific low post scorer. Now, he's got to continue to work, but this is a guy that you can bank on being a high-level scorer in the post for years to come.
There's a lot of nuance at that position.
There's a lot of nuance, but he's got the best nuance, which is good hands, a nice touch, and he's 7'2". That's a good package to start with.
Here's Williams. He has 6. Stevenson with it. James right side. Six to shoot. And here's Stevenson for 3.